All right, let's wrap up our discussion of chemical changes. So I have one last demo to show, and as we go through the steps of the demo, we'll talk about how we're going to add to our list of evidence of a chemical change. All right, so we're going to start on your right. So here's my glass 1. I'm going to pour it into glass 2. And so if we looked at glass 1, we had a clear colorless solution, and now in glass 2 we have a clear pink colored solution. So in my list here, number 2, I'm going to put color change as evidence of a chemical change. All right, we're going to take glass 2 and we're going to pour it into glass 3. And again, we go from being clear and pink to being clear and colorless. Okay, so still a color change. I'm going to pour 3 into 4. And you can see that I got bubbles. You might even be able to hear the fizzing sound. And you can see the little bubbles here. So anytime we see bubbles or we hear fizzing, this tells us we formed a gas. So that's our third piece of evidence of a chemical change. All right, then I'm going to take my glass number 4 here and we're going to pour it into number 5. And you can see that I'm going from being clear and colorless to being a milky white in color. Now, if I actually let this settle out, we would get a solid that would form at the bottom. And so that would be an insoluble solid. In other words, it's not going to dissolve in water. And that insoluble solid is known as a precipitate. Okay, I have one more glass to show you, but before I do that, I just want to point out that these are the 4 pieces of evidence of a chemical change. All right, in chemistry, we go building. So just so you know, next semester, this is how we start. We talk about chemical changes and evidence, and then we get to balance chemical equations. Probably something you remember from middle school. All right, last glass. So we're going to take glass 5 and pour it into 6. And it goes back to being that it's still kind of milky in color, so not clear anymore, but it's that hot pink color again.